Erum Tasneem here, and today I'm guest designing for Spellbinders, featuring the Vintage Treasures collection by Becca Feekin. What I'm going to do today is make a shaped card, a circular shaped card that is. Spellbinders was very kind to send me the platinum die cutting and embossing machine, and I absolutely love it. I chose the largest die from the Tiffany set, and I cut my last layer using these dies. This will go on my card base. For my card base, I took the plain circle die that I used earlier, minus the dotted embossing die, and what I did is I scored a 12 by 6 inch card on 6 inches, and it ends up forming a 6 by 6 inch card. Now I'll place the die on this in a way that it partially die cuts the folded card, and we end up with part of the fold. Just leave like 0.25 inch. I just eyeballed it, so it's totally up to you. You will end up with a circular card base. What I'll do is I'll adhere the first circle that I die cut on top of this, and when our card is ready, it looks like a complete circle and won't have the top portion missing. But for now, I'll set this card base aside and work on the card front. I took all the dies from the rondelle die set except for the smallest piece, and I'll start die cutting and embossing these, but first I'll adhere the dies together that cut and emboss with a washi tape so that it makes the process faster. This is going to be the first layer on top of the base layer. All these layers will be adhered with foam tape. These dies are so gorgeous. All the die sets in the Vintage Treasures collection by Becca Feekin are amazing. I mean, come on. They're designed by Becca, and she does amazingly intricate and very feminine looking dies. But change the colors of your cardstock and her dies make exceptional masculine cards too. Okay, so this is how my card layering will go. Before adding more details to the card front, I'll first work on the flowers. These come as 5 layers of flowers in one die, so I die cut this twice, and now I'm watercoloring on them. You can use a colored cardstock if you want to, or use a dauber or blending tool to apply ink. I, however, am watercoloring with distressings. While the flowers are still a bit moist, I'll use my flower embossing tools and emboss the petals starting from the tip towards the center. Like, you will have to move from your tip to the center, and this will give a nice curl to the petals. The flower should start to look a little cupped. As we move to the smaller flowers, you have to start playing around a little bit with the shape of the flower. I leave these for a few minutes to dry, or you can even use a heat gun to make the process fast. It's totally up to you. For the leaves, these are also from the same die cut set. There are 2 types of leaves. One is a pair and one is a single leaf. And I will use a sponge and ink it with peeled paint distress ink. We now have everything cut up and ready. Our flowers and leaves are ready as well. But I decided to add a bit of color to my die cuts. And in order to do this, I used the outline die and die cut an extra layer to go behind the lacy die. Now I'll use a grey watercolor, a very light wash of grey watercolor. Again, you can use a colored cardstock or ink the panel. I prefer watercoloring because I love it, and it gives a variance, you know, like it's not uniform, and that looks really cool. I'll add the watercolor panel behind the largest lacy die and also behind the medium lacy die. This breaks the white monotonous design and gives your eyes time to realize the intricate design faster and quicker than you normally would had it been just one color cardstock from top to bottom. And you can see for yourself the difference, that it looks beautiful. It's subtle but beautiful, and also works beautifully with the flowers and leaves that I made earlier. I'm going to adhere all the watercolored panels behind the die cuts, and then I'll start adhering them to the card base. Sorry, not the card base, the last layer that we cut at the beginning. I will use foam tape to adhere all the layers, and once I'm done, I'll move on to the flowers. I'll add 3 stamens to make my flower center. These I'll secure with a glue gun. Once this is done, I'll arrange the flowers. But first, I have this strip of sentiment that I'll adhere on the card front. I'll cut one end of the strip in a fishtail cut. I love doing this. It really makes the banner look nice. And then I'll adhere this on the card front. I'll arch this a bit. I love to do this as well. It really adds a lot to the card. Now I'll arrange the flowers and leaves, and this is what takes me the longest time because I can never truly be happy with the arrangement. I keep on trying different positions to make the flowers work. And you will see me cut up the leaves to make them fit with the flowers. After I'm happy with the arrangement, I'll adhere a couple of butterflies to complete my floral garden. Now I'll add some glue onto the card base we made earlier and glue my card front onto the base. My card is ready, and doesn't it look pretty? You should definitely check out Becca's Vintage Treasures collection. It is just stunning. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you Spellbinders for having me. It was a pleasure playing with Becca Feakin's dies. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye.